But the Sabres remain hot. Jeremy and Joe, hey, everybody, good morning. Happy Friday. You made it to a Friday. It's cold. Schools are closed. Our garbage pickup is closed.
Oh,
It's canceled today. No garbage. They just said, next week.
Next week.
We'll see you next week.
Not even no one's doing it on a weekend.
We'll see you next week. All right, we'll find a way. So anyway, good morning. Happy Friday.
He called an Alex Tuch hat trick over there.
Yes.
Wow.
Something has become clear. When you leave, we can see the future in sports.
Apparently.
The only time the Fantastic Four-Way Parlay actually hit, you were not here.
Correct.
Now you leave and Owen picks a hat trick. So now we have a new tradition. When you leave, we're going to start laying. We're going to do it. We're going to get after it in a heavy manner.
All right.
So there you go. Lots to get to today. The Sabres. Listen, a good topic about the Sabres would be how good can they be? And I feel like Alex Tuch just did it.
He did.
He said the words.
Yep.
Guess who's not getting traded at the deadline?
Not the guy that just said the word cup.
Not the guy that said that for the first time since when? Right? Mm-hmm. Last Sabre I might have heard say the Stanley Cup in any capacity might be the GM talking about wanting to compete for cups, and our cup window is open. Mm-hmm. He said the cup window is open in the final year of Granato, I believe is when he said it.
Okay, yeah.
Which I thought, great, that's great. And
before that, maybe it's Pagula and that Beyond Blue and Gold after they signed Taylor Hall.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that might be the time before.
Top 5 times you've heard the cup mentioned.
Yep.
And, man, here we are. The Sabres have won 5 in a row. They gained a little ground on Detroit last night. The East, I was scoreboard watching through the night. I saw Florida losing to St. Louis, and they came back to tie, but then they lost in regulation.
7 seconds left, 8 seconds left.
Yeah,
I was watching.
Yeah. You have a playoff field in the East where there has been a gulf. 8-9 is 8 points.
Yeah.
Which is
8 points.
8-point gap between the Sabres and the Panthers, and the Sabres play the Panthers when? Sunday? Soon.
They play Montreal on Saturday.
Okay, and then then it's going to be Florida on
Monday
Tuesday.
Or Tuesday.
Yeah.
Monday or Tuesday.
And then they play Pittsburgh as well in the mix. Sorry, I had the schedule up here. I should pull it back.
Montreal Saturday, and then at Florida Monday, at Tampa Tuesday.
All right, that Florida trip. You want to convince me the Sabres can win the Cup? Go on that trip and get 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
They always lose one of those games. It's always a lock. If they go to Florida and beat the Panthers, what are they going to open their lead to 10, 11?
By the time we get to the All-Star break or the Olympic break, are we talking about 10, 12 points?
Who knows?
I mean, if they keep playing like this, I am enjoying watching these other games, by the way. Not always for good reasons. Like last night after the Sabre game ends, I'm thinking, all right, let me throw the Detroit game
So
on.
you saw the dumbest goal of all time?
Yeah. I saw the Red Wings down 2 with a minute left and thinking, beautiful. You're going to be 2 points back. Bang, goal. Detroit. I'm like, all right, fine, still. They're down 1, 50 seconds left. Puck goes off the little hole that the cameraman puts his camera through and shoots out into the net. And I'm like reacting as if the Sabres just got scored on. So that's fun. But then on the flip end, I'm watching St. Louis win the game against Florida with 8 seconds to go and jumping out of my chair.
Take it. Yep.
Yeah. And that one, you might say looking below the playoffs feel, I guess this is part of the conversation. I mean, if Tuch's talking about the cup, I'm still in the mode of just make sure you get in. Just build the gap as big as possible to make sure you get in. Like Detroit getting a point, they're ahead of you. The team that is first out losing, to me, is still bigger for right now.
For sure.
Because just ending the drought, getting in, and taking it from there, to me, is still mission number 1.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, in a couple of weeks, maybe post-Olympic break, we'll talk about the race to host Game 1. You track down Detroit, you're going to host Game 1 of a series there.
Or how about just avoiding, I mean, right now, Montreal, Boston, Buffalo all have 67 points. If all 3 of those teams made the playoffs and everything else stayed the same, you're fighting for the opportunity to not have to play Tampa or Carolina.
True. But it is one of those years where if the Sabres and the Canadiens played in the first round of the playoffs, which they very well could, I guess it lines up properly. That would be 7 versus 8 in a 16-team field. That kind of does work that way. The Sabres have 25 regulation wins. Here are the teams with more regulation wins than the Sabres. Colorado, Tampa, Dallas, end of list.
Incredible.
25.
Yeah.
Teams you're in the mix with, like Detroit has 22. I mean,
what's about Montreal?
Montreal has
right?
19.
Yeah, 19.
They just keep winning. They just keep winning in such workmanlike fashion. And I walked in this morning thinking about Alex Lyon and whether or not I want him extended and wishing he was on the final year of a deal. They have him for next year, too, which is great.
Yeah.
If he wasn't signed for next year, should we be talking about that?
He has a Sabre record now in goal.
He has
when Dominic Hasek and Ryan Miller have played for this team before.
That's right. But he also has. They posted his. They put his stats up on the screen last night before the game, and you brought this up when they signed Lyon, which is this guy has been just fine pretty much everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
Like he's not some sort of reclamation project. He's a guy that for whatever reason has never solidly locked down his own net, and he hasn't really even done that here because he's in a 3-goalie rotation where he plays really well. But he might be on his way to a good contract next.
Yeah, he started more than 30 games once in his career.
All right.
And he really didn't get into the NHL until he was 30. So, he was a late bloomer. But, the 4 years, it was always looking at him versus Luukkonen for me. Like, when they came into the year, the last 4 years, which is basically Luukkonen's career and it's basically Lyon's career, Lyon statistically was significantly better.
Yeah.
Now, this year you're getting, I think, a good thing, which is Lyon is holding up to that standard and probably going beyond it. And Luukkonen is also rising to it at the same time. They're getting a good goalie game every night.
Yep. Pretty good.
They weren't perfect all throughout that game yesterday. The second period, King spent most of of that 20 minutes in the Sabres' end. And Lyon just always looks... as much as I feel like Colton Ellis is chaotic and always scrambling around, and he does get away with it sometimes, I feel like Lyon is always the composed dude that's just in the net, never looks panicky at all. There'll be a wide open shot from the middle of the slot, and I feel like he just throws the blocker out there. He's like, I got it. I'm easy for me. So yeah, they're getting a good goalie night. Samuelsson has more points than he's ever had in a season since he was 12 years old.
He has 9 goals now.
Yeah, 9 goals on the season.
9 goals.
9 goals, 32 points for Samuelsson.
Lyon had 3.48 goals saved above expected last night.
Yeah, that's about as high as
that's a big number. That's kind of stealing a game that you won 4-1, because expected goals in this game, it's 4 for the Kings, 4.5, and the Sabres are hovering around 3. So, man, what a vibe, what a time. 803-0550. Alex Tuch says the word "the cup," and I mean, I feel like it's a funny existence right now with the Sabres, which is, are we sure it's not a fluke? Have there been 82-game flukes? Have there been 4-year flukes? Because what are they at? 25 games of looking like a really good hockey team?
And it's the best 25-game stretch in team history.
That's pretty darn good.
So
they are.
Yeah.
There's we're at the point where I'm, after a game, wanting to talk about one play, one shift. And they didn't even do anything on it, but it's obvious. There's a play in the first period, early, where I don't even remember who gets it up to Quinn, but Quinn kind of hits the line with speed. He ends up going around behind the net, and nothing comes of it. But in that moment, I'm thinking, this team is blazing fast.
Yeah.
They put so many teams on their heels with how fast they play. They can turn from the D zone to the offensive zone quickly. They got guys that are fast, whether that's McLeod, whether that's just whatever.
All of them. Every line's got at least 2 guys that are super fast.
And Quinn, I don't know if he's thought of as the fastest guy, but on that play, he's just boom, shot out of a cannon. And what can you say? They look amazing. And the question I guess I would ask about Tuch's comments about we're not
trying to just squeak in.
We're not trying to squeak in. We're thinking about the cup.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that's a message to Jarmo, but that's a message. Is that going to be a message inside the room? Are they talking about it with the GM? Is the GM, when he speaks with them, if he speaks with them, have they won more games in franchise history in a 25-game stretch, and the GM hasn't been nice work? Is he still acting like it's I'll trade any one of you right now still?
Yeah. Well, that comment of we're not just going for the playoffs, we're going for the cup, we're not here to just squeak in, is a lot of what Jarmo talked about in his opening press conference and the day after when he was on with us, and then any interview he's really done since, which is, I mean, he said it multiple times that the worst day of a season for him is it's a worse feeling the day after losing a playoff round than the day after a season, where you just missed in total.
Yeah.
Like, basically was the message that he
The
was
farther
giving.
you go, the more it hurts to lose.
And his actions in Columbus expressed the same thing, that he was making moves not to just get into the playoffs. He was making moves to win beyond that in that season in Columbus. So I've got a guy who I think has taken those words Tuch said yesterday and put them to action in the past. So that would mean to me that you're keeping Tuch and you're adding something else beyond that. I don't know what they need, though.
Honestly,
they kind of are pretty complete. Like, they could probably use a third pair defenseman that could play more than 9 minutes a night. But, that's a little thing. That's something you get for, a 4th-round pick.
Right.
Like, it's not a major trade.
I've listed at the top of the list of questions to get to Paul when we talk to Paul at 7 o'clock is, all right, let's talk about it. What do they need? Or what would you do?
Right.
I don't know that you're looking at – you like to point out the Florida trade, Huberdeau for Tkachuk.
Yeah.
That's not a in-season kind of thing that you do.
That's off-season.
But, is there a move where they would say –
well, Florida's made a lot of other trades. I mean, they make the Marchand trade in season.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
Trade like that. And, I mean, even if you could say, if a forward like that was available right now to the Sabres, do they need a guy like that? No, but do you want to get better off? You want to take Jack Quinn and put something on top of it and make it into a 25 to 30 goal scorer? You want a power? I've talked about power play specialist.
That's what you want. You want a power play. You want somebody that's going to wake up your power play.
Yeah, that is ideal. That's what they need.
It can be woken up, or if the design of it is so, I guess, uninspiring.
It's the only thing they're not good at.
Yep.
At the moment. I mean, everything else. I wondered. Me and Owen had talked about this. Owen was more confident in this than I was, but I had wondered if they could hold up scoring at this rate all year. If they had the finishers to do that, that's getting.
They score
marks.
They score 4 goals every night.
There's no worries about that. The blue line right now, your top 4 is as solid as it could be. You have at least 2 goalies you trust on a night-to-night basis, and a third that looks pretty good, I would say, throughout the year. You're not, unless you're going for the clear-cut number 1 there, I don't really need to add another goalie unless it's a superstar. So, the only thing I think you can look at is power play. They don't even have everybody in the lineup. Right? They could come back from the Olympic break and Norris and Luukkonen and maybe, we'll see about Kulik.
Right, but those are guys that are not in the lineup.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not even completely healthy, and I feel like they look like a complete hockey team.
803-0550. So you want to share in the Sabres vibes? We are here to do that. We'll, of course, recap Joe Brady's introductory press conference as well. We heard from the GM. We heard from the coach. We heard about Keon Coleman a little bit more. We heard from the quarterback, too, who walked into that meeting on crutches with a boot on his foot. So lots to get to this morning. We'll have some fun on Friday and stay warm if you can. We'll get some phone calls here on the Sabres as they beat the Kings. Alex Tuch hat trick. Matt starts us off. Hey, Matt, good morning.
Hey, guys, morning. Thank you so much for taking my call. Hey, I just wanted to call real quick. So I am 48 years young, and I have kids. When my wife and I had our kids, I had visions of them becoming a huge Sabres fan. I've been watching this team for 35 years. You guys have been watching them forever. Earlier this year, we were seeing a lot of familiar things, and I was starting to wonder, are my kids, we're 17 and 14, are they going to grow up and move out of the house before we get any, memories like I had with Plant coming in on Tugnut and Mayday, all that stuff. And I took my kids to the game last night. First game we've gone to in a decade. And, like you guys were talking about earlier, the way they've been playing through this stretch, this is not a fluke. I feel like I've fallen through like a Marvel sparkly circle into an alternate dimension where, Andrew Garfield is playing Spider-Man again. What the heck is going on here?
Matt, can I ask something about being at the game? Can I ask something about being at the game? Because what I noticed at the game is that it's kind of like being on vacation in Vegas or someplace where everybody is really excited to be on vacation. The arena right now, the full vibe is everyone's like, can you believe we're all here and this is happening?
Oh, absolutely. It's like being in a fever dream because they're playing at a level. This is not a fluke. They're playing at an elite pace. And to be honest, I'm not surprised at all somebody mentioned the word cup after last night because I don't see this stopping. I think this is who they are. And how did this happen? From what was going on at the beginning of the season to this, I can't believe this has ever happened before for anybody.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt. The Ryan O'Reilly Blues are one that said that was a coaching change, though, right? They fired their coach.
Berube came in.
Yeah.
Oh, that was early. It was like November.
They fired a GM, and I guess you don't always think about that as being as direct. And just what happened? Matthias Samuelsson, who plenty of us wanted bought out and thought like this is never coming back.
Yep.
In part because he couldn't stay healthy, and when he did play, he wasn't very good. But Samuelsson has returned to what he was very early. Very early.
Yeah.
They never lost when Samuelsson played. In his first season.
That first big year.
Yeah, the first breakout year with Granato, then Granato referred to him as their eraser. Mm-hmm. And whenever Samuelsson played, they won. Mm-hmm. Period. And now, the level he's playing at, like they've got a blue line, Bo and Byram, same kind of deal. Like Byram has been, for me, like this mysterious low-event guy, all about like, well, he's supposed to be really good, but Colorado gave up on him, so how good could he be? Like, what's the reverse of the benefit of the doubt? I figure if Colorado doesn't want a player, he must not be any good anymore. And he comes to Buffalo, and now he's obviously important to what they do. And the Josh Doan trade and the Ryan McLeod trade. Like, what the trades that Kevin Adams pulled off kind of represent to me. Like, let's dig into the McLeod for Savoy trade. That is enough about somebody's ceiling, enough about somebody's potential. I'm going to get an NHL player that can play today and makes my team better. Mm-hmm. I'm not just going to wait around for one of these 7 first-round picks to be fully cooked and ready. You take them. You take him. I'll take this player. I feel good about it. I don't care what he becomes because I need to be good now. I need to get better now. And boy, has that ever paid off. Like McLeod is a big part of what they do. So like a series of trades that they just kind of nailed. The Cousins for Norris trade, I don't know if you'd call that nailing it, but like when Norris plays, he's good.
Yeah.
And Cousins was kind of lost here. The Peterka trade, and Kesselring, I still kind of don't know what I've got there, but Doan is better than Peterka.
Thought Kesselring looked better last night, but it's just been the injuries.
Sure, yeah. I kind of don't know yet.
Yeah, right.
He played like 13 games?
Yeah, it's not many. Well, on top of that too, like that trade, especially that one, because you're trading one of your top prospects. But part of the mentality there was, I've got a million of those. I've got a million guys like him, right? When they trade Matt Savoy away, I got a bunch of guys at that age,
Oslin,
that type,
Roseanne,
and that's getting proven right now that you had other ones and you didn't need another one because you flipped him for a veteran. And Austin's really good, and Benson is amazing. Like those two players are just in your lineup and helping you on rookie contracts right now. Like sure. In theory, another one like would help you, but you didn't need another one.
Yeah,
and Hellenis even at this point like looks like he's decent. I don't know if he'll stick in the lineup once everyone's healthy, but like you're totally fine when it comes to like the 18 to 21-year-old skilled forwards that are starting to come up in the organization. Like that cupboard was full. Samuelsson, by the way, you mentioned the one thing though that he is doing that is just so beyond even what he did that 1 year. That 1 year where they missed by one and he was great. They went an 8-game losing streak when he was hurt in the beginning of that season. He was their eraser. He was not putting up any offense.
No.
Nothing.
He's got an 8-game point streak.
He's never done it in his life.
Right.
Back to high school hockey. Like, he really hadn't done it. And right now, he's on a 52-point pace. He had 43 in 5 years before this season.
Yeah, it's nuts.
He's on pace to beat his career total in points this season. That's insane. Like that, and I keep wondering, like, is that going to keep holding up? Their defensemen are so active, and his shot is so heavy that it might hold. Like, he might score 15 goals this year, 16 goals this year. I don't know.
New definition to career year, when a year actually outpaces your entire career.
Your entire career.
Like,
yeah.
Career year.
He had 43 points in 5 seasons before this year, and he's got 32 right now.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Paul in Buffalo. Paul, good morning.
Oh, good morning, guys. You know how you know if the people who vote for NHL awards pay attention? If you're paying attention, there are 2 guys that need to get Norris Trophy votes. One is J.J. Moser for the Tampa Bay Lightning, who has had to become their number 1 defenseman this year. And, his plus 40 and their record tells me he's doing a good job. And Matthias Samuelsson, who, despite the fact we have, in my opinion, the best all-around defenseman in the world on our team in Rasmus Dahlin, Matthias Samuelsson has been the best defenseman on this team, and he deserved Norris Trophy votes. I'm not saying he deserves to win it, but if you're paying attention, whoever votes for that award, you cannot overlook this man. I'd like to say, though, all hail mighty Alex the Lion King. You do not set goaltending franchise records for the Buffalo Sabres often. Whenever you do, it is one heck of a feather in your cap. And listening to his post-game interview, he gives as good a post-game interview as Ryan Miller did, which is shocking. Ryan Miller gave some of the most insightful answers you'll ever hear from a hockey player, as does Alex Lyon. And if you look at the video from his interview, over his right shoulder was a sign above the locker room door. It says, "Finish strong." And doesn't this team finish strong? They lock up everybody in the third period, whether it's the Montreal Canadiens, a young high-flying team, or a cagey veteran team in the LA Kings. And you could tell they got under the LA Kings' skin all night from the fact that, we ran their goalie, they ran our goalie. It was chippy all game. That's playoff hockey. This team is awesome. I love watching them. Let's go, boys. Can't wait to play Montreal, another young, upcoming, star-laden team. It's going to be fun. Guys, have a great show.
Thanks, Paul. Alex Lyon, so I'm at moneypuck.com. Goals saved above expected per 60. So minutes played, I put 20 games. He's played 20 games. So 24. Guys that have played 20 games or more, Alex Lyon in the NHL is 8th in goals saved above expected. 8th. The Sabres, the last couple of years, how is this happening? He calls out Alex Lyon, and we're saying how the goalies have been, all three of them have given them good starts. Last year, what was their best goalie in this department? They've been living in, their three goalies are 43rd, 62nd, and 73rd. They've been living in the basement for goalies. In fact, I will look this up for next season to see what the best goalie they had. But
last year?
Yeah, last year.
Last year, Reimer saved 7 above expected.
Reimer.
But
but that's part of the point here.
Yeah, Reimer didn't play all the time.
Reimer finished 13th. It was Reimer who came in to save your bacon.
And a lot of that was in the last month of the season,
right?
And it was already over.
Right. Luukkonen finished 48th last year in goals saved above expected per 60. And now, this year, the Sabres are just getting better goaltending. What have we said about this team for a long time? What do they need to be better? Saves. Get saves. And they are consistently getting saves while also scoring 4 goals every night. Good formula. Score 4, make saves. Profit.
Last year, Luukkonen's the biggest difference there. Lyon has been a huge improvement over the other guy that they have had, but Reimer, or the Luukkonen difference that I'm looking at right now, so Lyon has saved 18 goals above expected this year. Luukkonen's at 8. And last year he was at -8. It's a 16-goal difference.
Right, which is flat out how
from
many...
your other guy.
Which is probably how many wins.
And even Ellis is at 3 above expected. So between the three of them, that's 29 goals. That's 30 goals rounding up with the decimals.
Above
30
expected.
goals above expected that you've saved. And I think that you asked, can you be fluky for 82 games? You can. You can just
in goal, you
can get goaltending like that, but usually you have to couple it with the power play. And because the Sabres' power play stinks, they need to be great at 5-on-5. They need to put 60-minute efforts out there. I think if they were, I think Boston is a little bit of this right now. You could be fake good, but you got to have a hot goalie year, and I think you have to have the one other component. I think you got to have the hot power play. And because the Sabres don't have that, I believe it's more real. You want to talk about playoffs, Tuch's talking about playoffs. Guess what they don't do in the playoffs? They don't call penalties.
That's right.
So guess when it's more important to be good on 5-on-5 and less important to be good on the power play when you get there.
803-0550, our number. The Sabres, we got them back. They got us back. It's all back. It's been incredible the last month, 2 months. Jeremy and Joe, get more of your calls in. Paul Hamilton at 7 o'clock. Sal at 7:30. Howard's going to check in at 8 o'clock. His thoughts on the Joe Brady hire, on the Sabres. So lots and lots to get to throughout the course of the morning.